Today we're sharing some incredible air fryer recipes, and stick around until the end for a recipe that shocked us. You won't believe it. Don't miss these game-changing meals. Tonight we're gonna use the air fryer to make a sweet chili chicken and Brussels. You can serve this with rice, you could serve it with pasta, potatoes, quinoa, couscous, whichever your preference. To get started on this recipe, I'm gonna cut off just the little end of some Brussels, and then I'm gonna cut them in half. So you don't wanna cut too much off of the end because then they'll fall apart. If you cut just a little bit off, just kind of like the brown, yucky looking part, then they'll mostly stay together. I just finished my grocery shopping for the week, and we got very little groceries this week. I'm talking probably 1/6, I feel like, of what we normally get, because everything that I have on the meal plan this week, we already had the ingredients for. So this was a very light week. Now, I didn't plan super well for lunches, but I'm hoping that we have a pretty significant amount of this left over, because this will be the perfect lunch for me to have for the next couple of days. So we'll kind of see how hungry everybody is at dinner. I didn't even look to see how many. I think this was a pound of Brussels. As I'm cutting these, tell me in the comments, what is your favorite thing to make in the air fryer? I'm telling you, I always thought that the air fryer was just for like reheating chicken nuggets and pizza and stuff, which you're gonna reheat your chicken nuggets and it's gonna be the best chicken nuggets you've ever had. Hands down, your chicken nuggets are gonna level up by reheating them in the air fryer. But there are so many things that you can make in the air fryer. It's crazy to me just how easy it is to use. So tell me your favorite air fryer recipes. Now for the air fryer, if you want to cut down on the fat content, you do not have to drizzle with oil. You can use a spray oil. I am going to use a little bit of it. That's one of the really unique features with an air fryer, is that you don't have to use as much oil. It's literally an air fryer, so you're not dipping and frying in oil. So use whichever you prefer. We're going to coat these in some salt, some pepper, and some oil, and then we'll air fry these for a few minutes. Give these a toss, getting that really yummy oil, salt, pepper, everything all over. Let's add the Brussels to the air fry basket, and then put that back in here. And we're gonna do air fry at 400 for 10 minutes. While this cooks, we'll get our chicken ready. I'm gonna cut 2 large chicken breasts into bite-sized pieces, and then I'm just gonna use that same bowl that we used for the Brussels and just toss them in there. We've got some fatty pieces on here though. Y'all know, can't do that. Gotta take it off. Let's add a touch of oil to this. I'm adding about a teaspoon or so. I don't have any ground ginger right now. I actually think I threw it out the other day because I was thinking I never use ground ginger. I always just use this ginger paste. So that's what we're gonna use. I'm just adding, let's say about a teaspoon. We love ginger. I'm adding some garlic powder, about a teaspoon of that. Same with chili powder. This one, I don't know what I did to this one, but it doesn't like to come out very well. And then we gotta have a little bit of pepper. Right around a half teaspoon of salt. And then I am gonna add this sweet chili sauce. We love having this on hand. You can make it, we have made it, but man, it's so easy to just pick up a bottle of this. Ours is from Whole Foods, and I got it at Whole Foods because of the ingredients in this one. I was really pleased with the ingredients. It's exactly what I would use if I was making this at home, except for the cornstarch. That's the only thing. I would use a tapioca flour or something, but other than that, the ingredients are really good. We need about a 1/4 cup. And you can use as much or as little as you like. I wanna make sure we've got good flavor here. That's really important. Let me just strip it too. So you're mixing all this, you're making up this while our Brussels are in. They have 3 minutes left, so we are on track. Everything is looking good. Now, we may end up adding a little bit more of that Thai chili sauce after the chicken has cooked for a few minutes, just to really make a saucy chicken that's gonna go. We're making couscous with this, so it just depends on how much sauce you want, but I prefer ours to be a little saucy. The reason that you air fry the Brussels a little bit first before you put this chicken in is you want them to get a nice crispiness added to them. It's gonna take them a little bit longer than the chicken to cook. Otherwise, they're gonna taste really raw. So we let those cook for 10 minutes. Now this has 15 seconds left. We're gonna take the chicken, put it in there with the Brussels sprouts, and we're gonna cook for an additional 10 to 12 minutes. I am gonna shake it around probably about halfway through just to make sure there's a nice even cook on everything. And there it is. Okay, add in the chicken. And let's go for another 10 to 12 minutes. I'm actually gonna start at 5 just so I know to shake halfway through. They have fully cooked for 10 minutes. I'm gonna add a little bit more of that sauce. And we're really just gonna heat that through for about maybe even just 1 minute. Air fryer, Brussels, and chicken. Sweet chili sauce. Not a huge fan of, he doesn't love Brussels sprouts, but
it's the texture, the smell, even though I know asparagus smells too, but I like that. But anyhow, I still will eat them, especially if they're good and whatever that drizzle is they use on it sometimes.
Balsamic.
Yeah. So you're just doing it one by itself?
Yeah. The Brussels sprouts are cooked really well. They really are.
So good. That's how you do a Brussels.
They're not crunchy, but they're almost like still...
They're not squishy either.
Yeah, they really are cooked to the perfect amount. Yeah. And I know some of them look burnt on the edges, but I actually like that. It gives it a little bit more flavor, I guess. Like it's almost like a saute chicken.
Yeah, that's solid. Has just a little bit of heat.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a really great option. It doesn't even look like something that you would think would come from an air fryer either.
What all came from the air fryer?
Everything. It's all in here. Cool, right?
Yeah, that's neat.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sauce and everything.
That is cool.
Right, not the couscous. I made that over on the stove. It takes literally 5 minutes on the stove.
Did you put the recommended salt on the couscous?
No, I added a little. Y'all, hold on. Normally, I transfer our dry goods to a different, like a flip-lock container that we have that seals everything. I didn't transfer this one, and I don't know why. And today I was reading the instructions on it because I thought it was a 1-to-1 ratio, but I wanted to make sure. These are the instructions. 1 cup of uncooked HT Traders Moroccan style pasta couscous, 1 cup of water. So that's a 1-to-1 ratio. 1 teaspoon Harris Teeter butter, optional. 1/4 cup salt, optional. I was like,
that's a lot of salt.
This is 1/4 of the cup.
That's a lot of salt, y'all.
That has to be a misprint. There's no way that you would add that much salt. There's just no way.
Harris Teeter, let us know.
Yeah, I need Harris Teeter to answer this because no. Please don't add 1/4 cup of salt. Tonight for dinner, we're gonna use the air fryer to make fajitas. And I'm gonna do chicken fajitas, but I also want to use this really neat function that this air fryer has. It's called chef mode, and apparently it makes the best steaks. They're perfectly cooked every single time, and it walks you through step by step exactly how you need to do it. It's so easy to do. So we're gonna try to make steak to go with this as well. Then I'll make the chicken and the bell peppers and stuff that are gonna go with our fajitas. Now, to make sure that we get the best steak possible, I am going to take some butter and we're gonna coat all over the steak, all right? We wanna get buttery flavor. This is the chef mode function that we're gonna use, and it says this is how you're gonna get the best steak. We also need to add some salt to this. Make sure we get really good flavor here. This technology is called Combi cooking, and it's something that's really unique to this air fryer. So we're gonna add a little bit of water to the air fryer, and it's supposed to just make the best steak ever. So, I mean, I am expecting perfection here. Okay, let's make sure we get the other side too. Starting with the butter, then I'll wash my hands to do the salt. This will be interesting because my husband makes a really good steak in the cast iron skillet and on the grill too. So I'm excited to see, I'm not the steak master, so I'm excited to see how easy this is on my own. We've got this probe that's supposed to go into the center of the steak like so, not straight up and down. It's supposed to go in the center like that. Adding in the basket that we're supposed to add in here. It tells you front and back, which is nice. Taking the probe sensor, and it goes right in there and kind of locks into place. When we use chef mode, you are supposed to add water into the top here. So I'm gonna add that, just under a cup. The cool thing here is that this literally walks you through every single step. So I'm gonna go to chef mode. I've got beef. We are going to do strip steak. Yep, New York strip right there. Okay, and I'm using the grilling rack. I want medium rare. I did the I think that's sous vide flavor. And then the tank is already filled. It says ignore if already filled. And it is just gonna go. And I don't have to do anything. It's just gonna calculate the time and it's gonna do everything for me. The ETA on this is 42 minutes. Let's just turn the light on. Just so curious about this. While that's working, I'm gonna go ahead and get all of the other dinner components ready. We've got green bell pepper, red bell pepper. This, once put in the air fryer, only takes about 10 minutes. So I need to get everything else ready. I also cut some strips of chicken thighs, and that's in there. That is 1 pound. And we're just gonna cut the peppers into strips. I'm also gonna make up some guac. My husband's actually bringing home avocado because I realized that we didn't have it. Tortillas. Oh, I was gonna make rice. Oh my gosh. Okay, I've got the rice prepped over there. I'll finish cutting the green peppers. Let's clean up and then we will toss these in our seasoning. Now, I don't keep a fajita seasoning in our house, but you can make it. It's so easy. You just add in some different spices and flavors. I'm starting with some cumin. That is a favorite of ours. And honestly, for this amount, I'm probably gonna add right around a teaspoon of each one that we're using. It all depends on how much flavor you want. I'm gonna add in onion powder and some garlic powder, a little bit of chili powder. Gotta have paprika. Of course, we need salt. And if you wanna add some spice, I would add in some cayenne pepper or something like that. I am gonna add a touch of oil. You can just spray yours if you want. Friends, we only have 5 minutes left, so I'm curious how this is gonna end up in the last couple of minutes. With the sear, it says it actually just flipped to browning. Okay, so it is finished. It does say that you can add further browning. I don't feel like I need to. As I look in there, it definitely looks a little different on camera. It's more brown than it's showing here. I think I'm gonna go ahead and take it out because it looks really good. You guys are seeing a lot of red, but I'm seeing a nice brown sear. That looks amazing. Oh my goodness. We need to make the chicken and the peppers. So that's gonna go in. All I'm gonna do is toss them in here. I'm gonna air fry this on 390 for 15 minutes and I'll shake halfway through. Y'all, I'm so excited to try this steak. Look how delicious that looks. It should be the perfect temperature based on the probe. And we never cut into our steaks before we let them rest for a bit. So I'm gonna let this rest for at least probably 4 minutes and then we're gonna cut in and see how it is. All right, he's been working in the yard, but I needed him to come in so we could try this steak. We're gonna cut into it and see what it looks like.
If there's anybody around the country, or the world for that matter, that thinks your ground is harder than North and South Carolina clay, let us know in the comments.
For real, it is pure clay. He's been out there. We had a huge oak tree in the front yard that was struggling, and so we had to have it taken out, but now there's bare spots in the front yard that he's trying to take care of and breaking up that ground.
Yeah, this is a ribeye?
This is a strip.
Strip.
Supposed to be medium rare. Are we ready? Pretty good.
It's pretty good temperature, yeah.
Okay. I mean, that looks pretty good right there. Nailed it.
That's tasty.
That is really good.
Oh,
it didn't look medium rare to me, but man, it tastes medium rare. But that flavor is really good. That was a fun way. I mean, everything happened in here. You put a little bit of water in the top here, it browns it, it sears it, it does everything in that.
That's right, I didn't even think about that. That's seared it?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. It's It's pretty impressive. Yeah,
wow.
It's very good.
That's snazzy.
So obviously a really cool feature about this specific cooking device is the fact that you can use that chef mode to make steaks just like this or other proteins, not just steaks. That was just one example. You also have an app that you can use on your phone where you can walk through different tutorials. It also will tell you when your food is about to be done cooking, tips and tricks. You can save favorite recipes and cooking modes. With ChefMaker, you can cook 100% perfect steak at home. Check the link in my description box because you can buy directly from the Dreo site with coupons and discounts. I'll have a link down there below. Okay, obviously I still need to cut up the steak, but I wanna try the chicken. I already put it in a fajita because we've got guacamole, we've got sour cream or Greek yogurt, we've got some cheese. I've already rolled it up nicely here in this tortilla. That is cooked so well. All the flavors are delicious. I love how the peppers are nice and done, but they're not overdone. They still have ever so slightest bit, not crisp or even crunch, but they're not overdone at all. The chicken is cooked perfectly. All those flavors work together so well. I'm a massive guacamole fan, so I am here for that. We've also got rice back here and we are ready to sit down and eat. This one is so good. We're gonna make chocolate chip cookies in the air fryer. Okay, this is brand new to me, so we're actually trying this together today. And I am only making a half recipe for a couple of reasons. One, because we just don't need a full recipe in our house eating on chocolate chip cookies for days. And two, because our butter is a little bit bougie, and if this doesn't turn out well, I don't wanna waste a full stick of butter. So let's just try this. We're gonna try it together and see what happens. Like I said, this is new to me. I'll have the recipe in the description box, but I already have portioned out the flour, which is around a little over a cup. And then I have some baking soda and some salt that we're gonna mix in. So just like with regular chocolate chip cookies, we're gonna pre-mix our dry ingredients together. Oh, I forgot to get an egg. I need to do that. Now the full recipe requires 1 egg. So I'm just gonna mix this and we're gonna use half of it. Half a stick of butter. It's going in here. It's mostly melted. Let's add in the brown sugar. This is about a 1/4 cup. I've got white sugar, about an 1/8 cup. And I'm gonna start just combining that. I could do this in my mixer, but it's such a small amount that I figured I would just mix by hand. Also, I am making this now, making the batter now, but I'm gonna let this chill in the refrigerator for a little while we make and eat dinner. Then I'm gonna come back and actually make the cookies. Okay, let's put in, or attempt to put in, half of an egg. That's approximately half. Mix that in. A 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract and add in the dry ingredients. I'm watching the timer because I also have zucchini bread in the oven. Okay, time to mix in some chocolate chips. Now, I never measure chocolate chips. I always just pour in some. And this is a mixture too. There's some mini ones in there. They're all dark. There's some dark chocolate chunks, and there's some regular size. So it'll be fun. Well, it'll be like a surprise with each bite. Alrighty, let's put a cover on this. Put it in the refrigerator, and then after dinner, we'll bake it. All right, friends, we finished dinner, so here we go. Here we go. We're gonna try it. Now, one thing you should know about me is that anytime I'm making a recipe for you guys and I'm doing research and figuring things out, I never just read a recipe. I'll start with a recipe and I'll think, ooh, this is intriguing, this is good. But you always gotta go to the comments because everybody will tell you in the comments, okay? So I think that this recipe said to cook these for 5 to 6 minutes, but the comments, people are saying, no, they need to be cooked for longer, like 7 to 8 minutes. I am using a 1.5 tablespoon scoop, and I think the author of this recipe did a 2 tablespoon scoop, so it might take a little less time. Also, a tip that I saw was to flatten them out, to scoop them, but to flatten them a little bit. So we're gonna do that. I did lay some parchment paper in the air fryer. All right, now based on everything that I've seen, I think I'm gonna start at 6 minutes and just see what it looks like because we can always increase the time. Okay, so we're gonna put these in and I'm gonna do classic cook and go to the air fryer function. And it's supposed to be at 325. Start at 6 minutes and I'll let you know. All right, these have 20 seconds left. They're looking really good. I added 1 extra minute, so a total of 7 minutes they've been in there. It also says to leave them in for 2 to 3 minutes. Just leave them in when it's done. So we're gonna try that. Super curious. Okay, moment of truth. They look a little brown.
All right, so what did you do on these? What's the cook on them?
325 in the air fryer. This was 7 minutes, and then it's been sitting in for about 2 to 3 minutes. So this is round 1. If these are 2 done or not right, we're gonna attempt again. Because we've got a little bit more dough here.
For now.
The dough that he's gonna eat.
You wanna do a, like a knife, cut open the middle?
Maybe, hang on. It's not.
Ooh.
What?
It is. A little squishy.
Yeah, I mean that's what we gotta figure out, the right cook temp here.
Man.
I don't know. I guess we don't really need a knife, huh? Just break it open. Okay, they're really undone in the center.
Oh my goodness.
Like really undone. Okay.
Oh yeah. Like you may not be able to see it, but
Yeah,
it's
super
not done.
This one shows it better. But how do they taste?
I don't mind it.
But that's the real thing. That's good. It's good for sure because you have that crunch on the outside and it's underdone on the inside. It's really good. I wonder if just flattening them a little bit more would fix just the there's definitely a part that's not done at all.
It's like the bottom half of it. Like not around everything around the top and the edges was done. In the middle, about half was done, and the bottom half of it was not.
We're gonna experiment and come back. Okay, that's a little flatter than last time.
I say go with that. I say go try for that.
So you think just flatten out a little bit more?
Let's make that the variation this
But
time.
we're not changing the temperature.
No.
Okay, round 2. 6 minutes. Flatten them out a little bit more.
Definitely better.
It definitely is better.
I mean, I wouldn't be able to hold it like this without it falling apart with one hand.
All right.
If it wasn't better.
Are we breaking this one or that one? It's more cake-like though.
Oh yeah.
No.
You don't like that?
No, I don't want it to be like that. I want it to have some gooiness on the inside.
Let's see if the cake-like rings true.
Yeah, that's too cake-like for me.
You don't like that?
No. You like it?
It's dippable. I can see what you mean by cake-like.
Yeah. Okay, here's what I want to do. Now that these other ones have been sitting for a bit, I want to go back to them. Because I'm not sure we let them sit long enough.
Usually when we bake cookies, we'll pull it out and let it sit for 10, 15 minutes sometimes because we like it really underdone. So if we picked them up right after they came out of the oven, it'd fall all apart.
That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, now that they've sat, they're literally perfect. It all depends on the consistency that you're looking for, but these are less flattened and they were cooked for 7 minutes, sat for 2 to 3, but now they've been sitting for more like 10 minutes.
They just had to sit.
They're perfect. Yeah, that was the problem.
Yeah.
Now they're literally perfect.
The crunch from the top, gooiness in the middle to the bottom.
Yeah, that's good. It does definitely give that crunch on the outside,
I like
which
that.
I really like that too. I don't know if you can hear it. You probably can.
They're like, yeah,
I feel like it's so loud in my head.
It's crunchy. We get it.
Our verse today comes from 1 Corinthians 16:13. Be on your guard. Stand firm in the faith. Be courageous. Be strong. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you're new here, I'd love if you would subscribe and stick around. Just hit that red subscribe button and the notification bell so you're notified whenever I upload a new video. I've got so much more content that I know you're going to enjoy. Check out the video that I have listed right above. Have a great week.